What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Space Engineers. We are back once again working on our Corvette build, and I noticed something rather intriguing. Yeah, so this happened. I don't know how this happened. And I was greeted to a big hole in the middle of my ship. But this is actually a good thing, believe it or not, because mainly I'm not a very big mod keeper-upper person. I tend to download and then just forget about them. I don't go back and check the pages and all that for looking for updates or anything like that. But apparently, the mod developer was aware and decided to also, had been asked, I guess, by multiple other people as well, to do a smaller version for a smaller ship. So we ended up with this, which, as you can tell, looks a little bit different. Not in a bad way. I mean, it looks cool. The pegs were what gave it away for me. That was not something I remember seeing, and so I was like, something different about this here. Also, you'll notice that the big yellow bar seems to be disappeared in favor of just getting a little bit of a blip over this console panel to let you know that you're kind of... I don't think it has to be highlighted. You pretty much just seem to have to look at it, and it seems to be working. So there is that. That's different. And then that seals, but you'll notice it does not go nearly as far down, which, you know, like I said before, for a small ship build, that actually works better. And the collision detector thing seems to be more accurate. Now, granted, not that I'm complaining, because you're going to sacrifice something along this path. This does change one thing I think. I could be wrong. Again, I've not read the mod page, but if you just look here, there's nothing sealing it, and then the door seals. Okay? So the issue with that is the version before... Actually, let me see if I can just hop down out of here. For any of you that may not be aware, yeah, that's right. I have no way to get out now. We're stuck in here. If only there was a way to get rid of all of the blocks in front of my... Okay, we're good. But, yeah, so we can get rid of that too. I don't really know why there were two there. I didn't place two. Unless it's now seeing the lower base and the larger base as the two separate entities for a small ship grid. Anyways, so if we switch to large and we place a new block, now we'll be on a large ship grid. And when we place this, what you'll notice here about this guy... Okay. I can never find this thing. Come on. I really can never find this thing. Whatever. I don't think I have any power for this. That might be the other issue. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. I don't have any power. Well, you know. Oh, crap. Okay. Just give me a reactor here. Doesn't matter. Bam. Now, I wonder if it wasn't working because there was no power. Yeah, that must have been the key. So if you'll notice, there's a metal chamber here. Then that shuts. And then you're exposed to the exterior. So just as a quick refresher course, in case anyone wasn't aware, that basically means that you're able to use the single block as an airlock, in essence, is where I was going with that. This one, however, now for a small ship, doesn't have the same reach as the other, so we don't have that metal sealant there, and the door doesn't shut until after this is exposed. So, not that, again, I'm not complaining about that, I just wanted to point that out for anybody that's trying to use the build and then going, hey, you know, it used to be an airlock. The small ship one, because it extends lower, is not anymore. Which means this needs to be completely redone. I actually did not plan on doing that. I was going to work in here today and finish this kind of stuff up and whatnots. And when I loaded in, I was greeted with that giant hole in my floor and realized that the mod block had been updated. Which actually I do think I like better. For a couple of reasons. One, it's like we could probably do away with all these ladders, actually. And just, let's see. Let's actually experiment real quick. If I have 3 blocks... It's a 3x3, is it not? Or is it further? Okay, the width is still the same, so it's still 5x5? 5x5. Okay. Let's just experiment, why not? We've already worked with the, Oops, that's 1 block too many. We've already worked with the, whatchamacallit, the landing area for last episode, so let's tinker a little bit up here and see what we can come up with. For now, I'm going to get rid of most of this, just because I really have not been very decided on how I was going to do this anyway. So, actually, I do need some anchor points, though, to work with. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5. How tall is the collisions? Looks like 2, 3. 3 tall. 3 tall, 5x5 wide. It's fairly lengthy. Let's see if this will fit. Okay, that block needs to go away. And what else is in the way? Something else is in the way. I don't see much of a vertical collision box like the other one, where it had to be really huge. Is this center? I don't know that this is center, actually. Yeah, it is. Okay. There we go. Wait. Okay, it's the height. Ew. So I guess that means that it's these guys that are causing an issue? Let's see how, unless it's this stuff, but that's all in the same line. That's weird. There we go. So it was that corner block. Okay, so if we had one here, and we do like this, does this extend? Okay. So how far away are we? Okay. That's actually a little bit of the opposite problem we had the last time. It doesn't go far enough down. I really did not think about that, to be honest. So there's a couple different ways we could spin that. Let's see. First of all, we need to get rid of this. If we went down a few blocks, it would probably work fine for the lower floor. The issue I think we would then have is getting up to the... Yeah, see, like, that works. That works fine. But we're going to have the issue of then once you're up here, then getting up to the cockpit area. You may be able... I think you could get away with this, but then I don't think that's far enough down. I think we're going to be 1 block shy. Okay, we can get off there. We can't get on without jumping. Which, there's stuff in our way, apparently. Whoa, what the... Oh. That's funny. I thought I was actually clipping through the wall, and I was like, wait, what in the world? Okay, so there's a couple different ways we could handle this. We could leave this. We could leave this, the ladder, and just leave it as it was, which is probably what I'll end up doing. The other way, mainly just for room. We don't have that much room forward-wise. Like, we can't bring the chair too far forward. I mean, we could, but if we want anything bigger than a chair, we're not going to be able to bring it too much further in, so I don't want to have a huge ramp leading up to it either. The stairs would probably, or the ladder would probably give us the best option, and this kind of stuff may be a little bit antiquated at this point. My reasoning for that being... Whew, okay, so the first thing, we don't have to probably do too much to this, to be honest, because effectively we're still using the same platform. However, we no longer need it to be in line with this one, because we can use it for... not use it, we can get... whatever. Words are hard. What I'm trying to get at is essentially, we don't have to have it lined up with the upstairs here, because we're not actually trying to go upstairs. So we could actually bring this a little more forward, but the real question is, do we want to? Because we're probably going to use another one of these right there anyway. I don't think I want to use a ramp. I might use a ramp. I don't know. I'm very torn. There's a lot of changes going on with these different entry points, and I know a lot of people are probably thinking, okay, it's entry points, get on with it, but unfortunately your access points are kind of like the big centralized area that you build everything around. So it kind of becomes an issue of how do you want everything laid out versus, you know, just place a block here and it works, move on. Let's see if I can find... This'll do. So there's the small boarding ramp. And then there's that one. And then I don't think we will really have a use for the flat-edged ones. But we could do something like this. Let's see. I never remember which way this needs to be oriented. Fairly sure it's that way. I think that's the hinge. Okay, so we could do something like this, which is interesting. I'm not entirely opposed to that. It would shrink this area a little bit. If I can find the right block, it would shrink this area because you're essentially having to build another wall here. But that's actually... Let's check this out. Let's check this out real quick. If I did something like this, so you would have your ladders. I keep wanting to say stairs. I don't know why, but you'd have your ladders here. Let's go ahead. What hotbar was that? There we go. Let's go ahead and put the ramp controls on here, just so we can see where things end up. Okay, there's an issue. That's not tall enough. I mean, low enough. Which is kind of the same thing we ran into before, although this actually would work okay. And quite frankly, I actually like it. Now, there is another option, but it would be a bit of a strange one, so bear with me a minute. I have made backups of this file, of this build, multiple times, so fret not in terms of, you know, making drastic changes and then being like, hey, we need to go back. Worst comes to worst, I could always just reload the thing. So let's just build something to attach this to out here. And this is just me playing around. I don't know really what I want to do with this yet, so I'm just messing around with some stuff. If I were to put this one right there... I know, bear with me a minute. Just hold on. Like that. Where do you end up? Okay, you're way into the floor. And I can't walk that way. So it would need to go out and up one? Maybe? Uh-oh. Here we go with that flippery again. So it would have to come out to like here? Which means this needs to go back another block. I think. What is stopping me? Oh, it's all of this. Okay. Nope. Still isn't enough. What is the problem here? It's these corners, maybe? Something is definitely in its way. I really don't think this will work all that well, but it's kind of just trial and error. I just wanted to double check and make sure. Okay, that goes to the floor. And that's walkable. It doesn't really look all that wonderful because of that gap. Okay, I don't like that. I wasn't sure. I was thinking then you could put like the entry over here or something, but nah, I don't like that. So, in order to not burn off all of our time, I'm not going to record all these different various experimentations. I'm kind of just going to experiment a little, find out what I like the most, and I will get back to you guys when I have something. Okay, so I think I've actually managed to get it completed. So there's a couple things. Obviously this whole entryway got completely overhauled. I did finally end up moving this door to the supply room, and I replaced all of this because originally this episode, before the whole elevator update thing, I'd actually thought about taking this area and making it a drone area for some kind of remote-controlled miner or things like that. I may have to go back to my original plan of embedding that somewhere further up the ship inside the... that's a good sign. Inside the gap here, I may have to put a small hangar or something of that nature. Because I couldn't manage to... The biggest thing was again, we went back to the ramp door issue of the height thing. Like, it only goes down 5 blocks now, so I had to lower the entry point so that it would be flush with the ground. So this is kind of what I ended up with. Now, I will need to move that button now that I think about it. Let's put it over here for now. Maybe that'll work better. And closed, and then we'll get rid of you. That might work better. So this will lower the the elevator. Now it is a little off-center, but yeah, whatever. Actually, that's not good because now I can't just walk up there. That's annoying. Thought I had it right. If I moved it any closer, I thought it was gonna... Hold on. I thought it was gonna come down right on the door. Where's the collision block? Oh, okay. Hold on. Maybe I have enough room. I didn't think I did. So let's take this out one row and see what happens. Which way is the rail? There you are. Alright, now let's throw that back and try this again. Okay, that's better. Good deal. So then this would take us up here. I obviously need to rework this a bit. Actually, we could probably do something a little interesting here and kind of match the... I don't know if that's how it was before or not, but I think that would work best. And we might be able to put some kind of, I don't know, screen display or something. Actually, hold on a minute. Now that I'm looking at this, this might be better to do it this way. Like so. And then like that. Go away. Yeah, I like that better. That works better. So we could maybe do something there, or just put a emblem or something. I have no idea what we would do there. That does feel a bit more open, I think. Maybe? Maybe that's just me. The only thing I haven't resolved is this up here. Of course, we could just always go back to the ladder setup and just say screw it. Which is probably what I'm going to kind of do, I think. Mainly just because I am getting a little bit fed up with messing around with this stuff. Now, I just thought of something, though, however, before we go all crazy and just say phooey. It occurs to me that while symmetrically this lines up like it did before because of how we had the elevator block before, we had to make sure the height worked. Theoretically, we could actually move this out one. Okay, so I know this may not be making any sense to anybody, so let me just kind of do it real quick and see what it looks like. What I'm actually thinking is something like this to kind of separate the ladder area. Literally the ladder, you know, like the last, no? Okay. Moving right along. And it was recommended, and again, I couldn't do it before because of the height. This has actually been changed completely in terms of the collision block to where it's only 3 high. It's not the 5 that it was before. So I should, in theory, be able to then put a light there. Oop, that's not... Okay, that's not going to actually line up now. That's a little annoying. But the reason I'm doing the 3 there is because of the ladder. Because, as we discussed, where is the top to this thing? Oh, that's right, it's the retractable... Oh, ladder segment. Hold up. That seems new. Did I see that before? How far down do you go? Okay, that's good. What is this ladder segment of which you speak? Oh! Well, hello. Where have you been all my life? I totally did not realize you could just build the entire thing by segments. Is that new? That might be new. I don't know. That's pretty freaking awesome, though. Okay. For now, I'm not going to do anything fancy here. I'm really just going to put that there. And let's see how this works. Now, if I raise that up one... then it won't stick out at all, though this is... your head still clears, so I'm not really worried about that, to be honest. Okay. Let's see if we can get up. Ah! No, that's funny. It actually clipped us back. That's kind of funny. Now, the other option is we could put it on this back wall, now that I know the segment thing works. Hold on, let me try that. What is that, 2 segments? And a retractable? That actually, I feel like, works a lot better. And then we can just walk right up. Now, going down... I mean, realistically, to be honest, who's not just going to drop down? Let's just be honest. It's kind of one of those role-playing things where technically you could climb down the ladder, but, I mean, are you really going to? So yeah, I kind of like that. I don't think I can do any more like this without it becoming... I don't think I can... Oh! Well, hello. Alright, well, let's just take this full circle and see if it works. Okay. Dude, if I can climb that, that's gonna be awesome. Because that'll give me more... we'll have so much more room for activities! More importantly, it'll give me more room for the framing around here to make it look a little bit better. I don't know how that happened. right there. That is a weird block. I really don't know what I want to do with this, to be quite honest. Let's just take this whole thing out. How's that? I don't know. Oh, I can remove that. Okay. I'm not sure that I want to. I might have had it there for a reason, but I don't know, to be sure. So we can do something like this, blah, 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 blah. We've seen this kind of structure before. I use it pretty much throughout the entire ship. We could replace these, rather, because I think they're just covering up ramps. I don't think they're doing anything important. Like that. We already did that there. Like that. Actually, that'll work. I think we're on to something. Especially considering I already did that on the other side. Now, the question is, why did I not do something similar over here? I'm on the wrong block type. I'm experimenting here, by the way, but I think this will work, actually. It looks like it kind of is. There we go. Much better. Much better. Okay. Still haven't figured out all of this crap, but I think that's a pretty good solution for the ladder entry point here. I think that'll do nicely. As for the decorative out here, if we decided to do it any more fancy, I don't think we really need to, though, because everything else, all the edges line up and they work. So this is just basically going to be a giant hole, I think. Theoretically, we could add like angles in this region and that kind of stuff, but I don't really think it would add that much, and I can't complete that shape because this is only one block thick, so I can't add other angles on that side and all that doodad stuff. So I think that's kind of one of those, eventually you just kind of have to stop messing with stuff, and I think we're at that point with that area. But this is way cleaner. I like it a lot better than it had been looking. Though there is something that I think I messed up on in designing this ship. It's not something that can't be remedied, don't get me wrong, but I do think I royally messed up on something so far, because I have not allotted for it at all. I'm double checking. Nope, I did not allot for it at all. Jump drives. I have 0 jump drives on this ship, and that's kind of a thing now. It's kind of a new thing. So, yeah, I need to find a spot for jump drives. Now, we could do the infamous just poke a hole in the wall and bury it somewhere, but I kind of liked having everything visible. Let me see real quick. I don't think I'll need that. I do need a place for the official... excuse me. I have the backup gravity generator up there with the backup batteries and reactors, but I don't have a primary generator anywhere. So that's something I need to find a place for as well, and we might as well put the jump drives with the gravity generator, wherever that may end up. But, ooh, we have standard jump drives, long range, that's for large blocks, 1x1x1. That sounds fun. 2x2, 3, 2, 1, go! 3, 2, 1, jump! My biggest thing with this is going to be comparing the range. Though it is interesting. Here, I'm looking here real quick. Believe it or not, this 1x1 is more expensive in every possible way than the bigger one. But that's actually not that big. Like... wondering if I could... It is a 2x1 width, though, so I can't just squeeze it in between one of these other things, unfortunately. Though I could get rid of one of these screens and just have, like, a jump drive behind it or something like that. That would maybe be doable, though I don't know how close to the edge of the hull I got over here. So that's something else I've got to keep in mind. Just for kicks and giggles, though, I don't know if they tell you their max range. I hope they do. But I kind of want to see... let me just grab a door panel. Alright, here we go. Max jump distance is 0 kilometers, but that's probably because it's not charged yet. Fully charged in 7 minutes. This takes longer to charge. What's the max stored power? So it's half. Max required input is way lower, but the max stored is a little over half. So I'm guessing 45. Yeah, it's building a lot slower. Oh, Hi, my name is Sparrow, and my favorite color is clear. I'm thinking. Anyway, I'm not an expert on jump drives at all, so I have no idea. But I'm guessing 5 kilometers is the max for both of these. I guess the question is how much power it takes? But since both of them say 5 kilometers for their 100% jump, though when you lower it, it doesn't change anything. That's weird. That's kind of odd. What happens if I turn recharge off? It doesn't give me a max jump distance at all. Blind jump. To execute the jump, assign the jump command to the toolbar of cockpit. Yeah, that's not what I was looking for. Okay, so at the moment, we're going to operate on the assumption that the 1x1 is half the jump range because it's only able to store half the power. That's my current assumption. Still, though, for the size difference, I mean, really, is there a question for half the jump range? Just put 2 more or something, you know, and we could probably put them... we could probably put them maybe under... I was going to say connecting between the 2 shields, we could put like 3 of them, or 2 of them, like where the window block is. Like right there. Might be able to do that. Or throw them... I don't want to throw them in the reactor. I think our primary 2 might go there, and then we'll throw another 1 in up there. But I didn't ever really show this too much. So this is the airlock, essentially. Since we don't have an airlock of our own anymore. This would be like... I need to put a vent right there, actually. Poo. And then I'll need to connect it somehow. What's back here? Is there any... That's gonna go up into the floor, isn't it? Oh, maybe not. Oh, I might just have lucked out on the placement there. Let's go ahead. Tell you what. I know the closest... Darn, I don't know where the... whatchamacallit, the conveyor pipe is. Okay. Sorry, wall, I gotta put a hole in you. Okay, so that's in line with the conveyor, and it's right there. But, how high is it off of that? It's 1, 2, 3 blocks up from that hole. So 1, 2, 3. So it's level with this height. And it's essentially going this way. Okay, so what I'm probably going to end up doing is punching a hole in the floor up above and coming down in. But for the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and put a conveyor there to connect to. And then we're going to put our vent here. Because otherwise this would make for a terrible airlock. And just to double check and make sure, there is a conveyor on the top. Okay. Okay, good to know. Fill that in. Alright, so basically, like any good airlock, we're going to have it scripted and set up to where when you, like, click a button over here, probably, then it's going to seal that, depressurize, and then lower this. And then we'll probably have to just manually retract ourselves up and then hit the button there or have another button over here to open the airlock that way. But it'll, you go up and then it seals this, pressurizes the room, opens the door, that kind of deal. The only thing that I'm a little... Oh, and I did have this. This was a leftover area from... And this is just bugging me. This was a leftover area from where we were trying to do the doorway before, and I just kind of put ramps under it and filled it in, to where if we wanted to put a drone in here, we could have like airtight hangar doors to open up, and then that would let your ship out. The only thing I was a little disappointed in is I couldn't do this beveled inset type look like I did for the landing gears for this, because it was literally right to the ground. It was laid out directly on the ground. So I wasn't able to do that, unfortunately. But it is still flush with the ground, so that when we close it, it'll seal everything up. Let's see. Which one was I on? Oh, there we go. I am going to put a layer like that just to remind myself that's going to seal it all off. So we've actually got a pretty good airlock system set up now, and I think there shouldn't be anything left to tweak with it. I think it's pretty good to go other than the detail work, but in terms of function, I think we're pretty good. Finally, I don't think we have to mess with anything else. This works really well, and you can go in and out in different places. It doesn't clutter anything up. We've got accessibility, so on and so forth, yada yada yada. Now that I'm thinking about it, it goes up and over, doesn't it? The conveyor system. It doesn't actually go anywhere from here. Oh well, that's something for me to work on. But we're over time for this episode, so I wasn't paying attention to my clock. So sorry about that for going a little overboard, but I think we're going to wrap things up here for this episode. In the meantime, I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.